Good evening, everybody. Nice to have you covered wherever you're tuning in all around Australia or indeed the world on the platforms. The Gentleman Sim Racing Club, Zach Cabin and Daniel Caressa with you for night 4 of week 6 of term 2 in 2024. And we're looking at the famed Snetterton circuit in the United Kingdom, scene and setting tonight for the latest instalment of what's been a captivating Spreyton side of Formula V season so far. 5 races on the program tonight. 3 of them are here. 2 of them are at Coda. It should be a jam-packed full affair for you, and a lot to sink your teeth into over the course of the next 3 hours. It's not the only thing on tonight, of course. There's AFL and NRL as well. We'll stay across those as best we can, but right off the top, Spreyton side up, Formula V is the assignment. 12 o'clock in the afternoon is the service setting time there for you. Beautiful conditions for racing. 14 kilometre an hour winds, 21 the ambient, 38 on track, and the winds are about 14 kilometres an hour, which is good to see. 4.74 kilometres this course. We're using the full track here at Snetterton. There's the Snetterton 100, there's the Snetterton 200, and now there's Snetterton 300 as well. Lap time's around about that 2.25 minute mark, as you can see the cars lining up on the grid here. Let's have a quick look at how they line up for this opening race of the night. Chris Noble, John Merritt the front row, Glenn Seto, Adele and Nick Wood the second row. The third row is Tony Baker and Sam Chapman. The fourth row, Adam Lavis, Fred Carr the fifth row. Lane Thoburn, good to see him back on the grid, and Kevin Henderson. Hello, Anthony. Nice to have you on board, mate. Great to have you tuning in so early in the morning over there in the USA. Adam Proctor, Ryan Tate, 6th row. Steve Murray, Aidan Schultz, 7th row. Robert McGrath, Adam Tice, 8th row. Jonathan Hooper, Sean Rees, Jaden Green and Brett Bradbury take you back to 20th. 53% humidity here this morning as well, but in somewhat of a change of pace and a surprise for the United Kingdom, it's dry, it's clear. Phil Butler and Colin Bennett, Greg Heaney, Phil King, Chuk Fung Wong, Brendan Nealon, rounding out the field of 26 to get us underway on a Thursday night. Let's go to work. Oh, trouble on the grid already. 2 cars pointing in the wrong direction. That's not how you want to start the night. Oh dear. We had 28 starters. Chris Stark and Brendan Nealon, it would appear as though they were the last 2 there. Sean McQuillan, in fact. So didn't get quite to the bottom of the order there because we ran out of time. We were tight for time off the top tonight, but there's the grid for you. And at the forefront of it, great to see Hot Lap Merritt finally back in his milieu, in Spreyton side of Formula V. Not before time. Have a look at the logjam. Chasing him on the opening lap. Cedo makes it a Yuchuka Toyota. Poles tuning 1-2. Chapman, Noble, Lavis, Baker and Wood, the top 7 at the moment. Baker and Wood side by side. Lavis just sitting there patiently early on, but it's getting tight. Baker was trying to make it 3 wide. Oh, trouble. Jeez. Little bit of a hop, skip, bobble for Tony Baker. He's dropped a couple of spots there. Got him behind Leighton Thoburn now. 1:15 into the race. So the mathematics of it for you rather simple tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Full invert second race. Top 10 invert of the results from race 2 for race 3. I've finally got my head around that. Daniel Caressa, good evening to you. 5 laps for race 1, given that it's 10 minutes time certain. 5 laps for race 1 and 7 for 2 and 3, given it's such a long lap here for these cars at Snetterton. Good evening to you.
Hey, Zach. Yeah, so it should be in for a really good night of racing. Snetterton tends to deliver with some close racing, especially on the club level style of things. So considering we've got the Formula Vs, yeah, it should be a pretty cracking one. I would like to understand exactly what happened there on the start, because almost immediately those at the back of the grid ended up running into each other. So I'm curious if maybe someone stalled, as I see someone off to the left there on the top. We'll have to have a look at that. I believe it's Ryan Tate. He's just gone for an adventure of track.
Robert McGrath actually as well.
Yes. So Ryan Tate might have been a previous crash again, as we see Nick Wood. I think that's... and Thoburn side by side as they come down towards turn 1. But yes, it's I like how aggressive it's been so far, but I really didn't want to see the crashing on the grid. So yeah, hopefully for the next sprint races, 2 and 3, they'll be able to clean that part up. But as for out in front, John Merritt's actually dropped back to third. It looks like Glenn Riddell is leading with a 1.5 second lead to Chris Noble in P2.
So 1 down and 3.5 to go. Riddell, Noble, Merritt, Chapman, Lavis and Nick Wood, the top 6. On the eve of the biggest weekend in world motorsport in any given year, ladies and gentlemen, we're so excited about Monaco, Indianapolis and also the Coke 600 from Charlotte. But first up, on the subject of open wheelers, we've got our own open wheel night of business to get through. Wings and slicks to follow from Coda, the Super Formula Lights, but right now we ride on board with John Merritt. Look at Cito. Cito's taken off. Cito's cleared out, checked out, gone. Thanks for coming. Just write the check now. Merritt wants a piece of Noble, gets him down the inside. Job done. They almost run out of... There's not enough... I think they reach peak acceleration in these things and then just have to stay there teetering at full tilt. It's not... They've got nothing left to give or gain. Hello, Josh Zuno. Good evening to you. I don't know if beautiful's the word I'd use, but good to have you on board. 4.5 minutes gone. Cito, John Merritt, Chris Noble, Sam Chapman, Adam Lavis, the top 5. Biggest mover so far, Sean McQuillan. 16 positions gained from 27th to 11th. So watch for him in the second race. Because obviously he's already getting some overtaking practice. And he's got plenty of speed. He just didn't have any track position there off the top. Starting down in 27th position. As far as the rest of the order is concerned, Colin Bennett, Sean Reid sitting on pit road at the moment. So we had 30 in the server. We had 28 starters. We've still got 26 on the track. Butler, Green, McGrath in trouble. And McGrath at least on the tow rope. Let's have a look at how it ended for Phil Butler.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Up and over and up and over. Butler, Bradbury, McGrath and Jaden Green all on the tow rope as a result of all of that and all on pit road. Now, let's have a look at this again. Jaden Green. See ya. Oh, dear. Well, at least he landed on his... At least he landed on all fours. He was able to limp it back to pit lane from there.
Oh, someone's just had a spin. Was that John Merritt?
Hang on. That's John Merritt. That is John Merritt pointing the wrong way. John Merritt, can you believe that? He drops down to 16th after this.
Oh, that's uncharacteristic.
Yeah, all on his lonesome. Even more so uncharacteristic. Hot lap. Oh, well. Maybe looking to be a beneficiary of the invert situation in a few moments' time. But 16th isn't going to be much of that, much benefit to him. It's only going to put him 12th on the invert. Look at that front row at the moment, the way it's shaping up, right? Sean Rees, Colin Bennett, Jaden Green, Robert McGrath, Phil Butler, and Brett Bradbury, right? And Jaden Green is in a position there, if he can convert the start, to check out and take off. 6.5 minutes gone. We're on lap 3. We're getting to the business end of lap 3. Partway through this race. Past half race distance. 3 down, 2 to go as they cross the line. But an ultimate lap about to get underway. Cito leads Noble. 2.15 seconds the advantage at the moment. Sam Chapman and Adam Lavis. Then Tony Baker, Nick Wood, Fred Kahn, Steve Murray, Aidan Schultz and Sean McQuillan in the top 10. 17 positions gained for McQuillan. He'd prefer it to be next race because invert top 10 for race 3 would give him pole. But at the moment, he's still going to drop down the order and have to do all the hard work again. Championship points didn't get through them in the lead up to the opening race getting underway. We won't put them up on the screen. I'll just read them for you, ladies and gentlemen, because we want you to be able to ride on board here with Adam Lavis and enjoy the views. Glenn Cito, 371, leading Sam Chapman, 345, 337 for Adam Lavis. 34 points covers first and third. 289 for Tony Baker, 278 for Kevin Henderson and Ryan Tate. 260 points make up the top 6. Beyond that, Baldwin, Phil King, Brendan Nealon and Timmy Harris make up the top 10. Harrison on started last week. Last week's round taken out by Sam Chapman. We had 3 different race winners across the course of the evening. Second in the round, of course, went to the Chris Noble entry in car 024, and then third in the round was Glenn Riddell. We've just had someone drop off the circuit. That's Adam Tice off the road at the moment. We've got Brett Bradbury back on pit lane. McGrath, Green, Bennett and Rees have all stayed on pit lane since the time they picked up the tow rope. Brett Bradbury back on pit road again. So at the moment, pit lane is a tale of the walking wounded, my friend.
Yeah, significant amount of cars out there. It's Fred Kahn down the left side into the lengthy chicane. Gets the job done. P6 for him now. So 2 positions gained. And the biggest mover is McQuillan, Sean McQuillan. 18 from the start of this race. He has definitely been moving.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, so much runoff area here at Snetterton, and we've still got 5 cars on pit lane.
Exactly. And the other thing, too, that's crazy is Riddell has just kept increasing that lead. 1.7 seconds to Noble in front. So I don't know what's under his bonnet, but bloody hell, it's working for him.
Absolutely it is. White flag should be in the air this time by. For Glenn Riddell. Is Barney there, or is he taking the night off again?
I'm not sure where exactly.
No,
he's not in that box.
Lazy prick. Half a minute to go. We're on the run home. Sam Chapman. Maybe just as a patch update. Maybe just an idea for iRacing that they bring in Barney at every circuit that he's not currently at. That'd be a really handsome idea, I would have thought. Glenn Riddell, Chris Noble, Adam Lavis, Sam Chapman, Tony Baker and Fred Kahn. People are looking for visual cues, ladies and gentlemen. If he's not there waving the white flag, how are they supposed to know? Especially those of you tuning in at home. I mean, apart from people like me, rabbiting on about it and highlighting the stupidity of it. But anyway, Riddell, 1.76 to Noble. Noble has Lavis and Chapman lurking. A 3-way fight for second. 2 podium positions on the line. One of them's going to miss out. Round we go. The final few stages of race 1. Spreyton side of Formula V. This is the 16th race of the championship, ladies and gentlemen. There'll be 14 more where that came from for you. 2 of them tonight. And don't forget, at the end of next week's round, the all-important drop rounds get added into the calculations to shake up the equations. We're looking forward to that. Look at Noble defending here to Lavis. Lavis try to defend Chapman, but also try to find a way by Noble. Forget about Cito, he is gone. Schultz, Kahn and Wood arguing over the same piece of real estate. Baker's got Fred Kahn for company at the moment. Oh, look at Adam Lavis! Lavis trying to send it down the inside of Noble on the run to the line. Noble holding on the inside. Main straight, checkered flag, Noble's wide. Can Lavis get the run in the fight over second? Let's have a look at this. Cito's going to get the job done to the tune of 2 seconds. Noble and Lavis side by side. Noble. 1/100th of a second in it. Chapman in for 4th, then Baker, Kahn. Have a look at them coming across the line. Wood, Schultz, Murray and McQuillan make up the top 10. McQuillan up 17 spots. What a charge that was. Proctor, Hooper, Merritt, King, Stark make up the top 15. Then Henderson, Thoburn, Nealon back to 18th. 19th was Greg Heaney and 20th was Ryan Tate. Fung Wong and Tice and Butler make up the finishing order. Butler finishing a lap down. Bradbury, McGrath, Green, Bennett and Rees all on the tow rope, sitting in pit lane waiting patiently for a second chance. Oh boy, how good was that? Nice way to get things going, I thought, just easing into it. Now we up the stakes, 15 minutes for this second race. 15 minutes for the third. It's a full invert grid for this one. Luke Turner in the comments section instead of on the grid, not sure what's going on there. Sean Rees, Robert McGrath the front row, Jaden Green, Brett Bradbury the second, Phil Butler, Adam Tice the third, Fung Wong and Ryan Tate the fourth. Fifth row, Greg Heaney, Brendan Nealon, sixth lane, Thoburn, Kevin Anderson, seventh, Chris Stark, Phil King, eighth, John Merritt and Jonathan Hoover 9th. Adam Proctor and Sean McQuillan. The back 5 rows. Steve Murray, Aidan Schultz, Nick Wood, Fred Kahn, Tony Baker, Sam Chapman, Adam Lavis, Chris Noble and Glenn Cedar-Riddell. This, actually, no, I agree with Trenton Naylor. This is going to be off the chart in just a few moments' time. There's plenty of overtaking opportunities around here. Plenty of slipstream opportunities as well. Race 17 of the championship. Race 2 of round 6. Spreyton side of Formula V. Let's go to work. Beautiful start, Colin Bennett. Sean Rees trying to convert on the inside. 4 wide further back. Adam Lavis nowhere to go. Round the out. Oh, trouble for Bennett at 1. No, it wasn't Bennett. It was Rees on the inside. Jeez, what a moment. Now they're all locking up on the run down to turn 2. 3 wide further back. Uh-oh. Bye-bye.
It's Thoburn.
Lane Thoburn. Did he take anybody with him? No. Everybody did well to take evasive action.
Zach Heaney.
Uh-oh.
There's also Kevin Henderson as well.
And Kevin Henderson went with him. We started with 28. Sam Stride, Luke Turner, the non-starters here. Bennett, McGrath, Bradbury, Rees, Fung Wong, Tate and Butler.
Oh, no.
Trouble. Butler, Tate, Green, gone. See you later. Usually preceded by the words going. Uh-oh. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Wood about to get cleaned up here. Yeah.
Oh,
bye-bye.
No. Wow, yeah, so many people got involved in that.
We needed somehow to, we needed to find a way to just spread them out a little bit. We can always rely on at least one person to hold up their part of the deal.
Wow, Chuck Fung Wong went into that complex.
Yeah.
So incredibly fast. He's putting that livery to good use.
And look who's already up to 6th. Look who's already up to 6th. Top of shot, John Merritt. Have a look at that from 17th on the grid. He's brought Chris Stark through with him. Baker and Noble up 14 and 16 spots respectively. Adam Lavis up 13 as well. End of the opening lap. Oh, more trouble. Well played, John Merritt taking evasive action. Across the circuit goes Brett Bradbury. It was Sean Rees that was the first one up on the outside, and Bradbury put the boot into it. And it's like it went sliding on oil. He just went slipping and sliding all over the place, straight across the track. Merritt kept the boot into it and went to the inside. Now, McGrath and Bennett arguing over the lead. McGrath wants to lead it from the front. Bennett and Fung Wong and Merritt. Then Stark, Tice, Proctor, Baker, Nealon and Noble. Noble getting by Nealon. There we go. Daniel Snedden. Comment of the season thus far, I reckon. Have a look at this. McGrath, Fung Wong down the inside of Bennett to 2nd. Opts out of trying to do the double. We'll have a look at Robert McGrath next time round. We're off and away on a Thursday night. So too off and away is the latest round of the AFL. Bulldogs v Swans at Marvel. Bulldogs 2-0, 2-love, 2-0, whatever I'm trying to say. 2-0-12. Playing the Swans 1-0-6. So it's a 6-point ball game there at the moment. And clean striking off the boot for both teams thus far. This is how Chris Stark came unstuck. Uh-oh. And it's a very slow slide onto the grass for Starkey. Now, Colin Bennett. Oh, look at who's there. John Merritt not mucking around here. Wants to undo the wrongs of race 1. He's sitting 3rd at the end of lap 2. It's a 7-lapper this one, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourself in, buckle up, hold on tight. It's only 7 laps.
Do it, John. Both of them. Go!
Up around the outside, Merritt. Go for it, son.
Oh, no, but he's been blocked by Fung Wong. McGrath managed to shoot down through the right.
He did.
Well done.
McGrath holding on for dear life at the moment. Swatties lock it up at Marvel. 2 goals apiece. 12 points apiece at the moment. Between the Swans and the Bulldogs, we'll keep you across updates there. Merritt down the inside, they'll get 2 in the 1. 2 for the price of 1 at 1.
Oh,
John Merritt
beautiful.
goes to the front. Beautifully done from Merritt. Racecraft with the capital R, class with the capital C. How good's John Merritt in race trim here? He might be known as Hot Lap, but when it comes to Spreyton side of Formula V, he is Mr. Consistent. Magnificent. Oh. Just going back to finish the point, when we get to the NRL, it's the Doggies against the Dragons tonight. So we'll keep you across the scores from there once they get underway. Big Thursday night of sport. As per usual, if you've got the ability to have the AFL on one screen, the NRL on the second screen, and us on another, go your hardest. We invite you to do it. Set the sports bar up, ladies and gentlemen. Crack open a coldie. Make sure you got the cooler bag or the esky nearby with a little bit of ice in it just to keep everything nice and cold. And if you went for a pit stop like I did before the broadcast, I'm hoping you can get through to the end without having to go for another pit stop. Unless we go to intermission between Formula V and Super Formula Light, in which case everyone will go for a pit stop. In the meantime, let's continue on. 6 minutes gone, we're on lap 3. It's Merritt weaving right to left, struggling to shake off the likes of McGrath, Fung Wong and Bennett. They're latching on and going with John here, which is good to see. Bennett, 4th of the crop at the moment. It's going okay. Oh no, Adam Proctor's off the road. Adam Proctor has dropped down to 11th. Noble's up to 5th. Baker to 6th. Lavis to 7th. Tyson Khan 8th, 9th, with Phil King in 10th. Merritt's now starting to pull away. Merritt's almost got that gap that he needs. Up the outside goes Chook, Fung Wong and Robert McGrath. Has no answer to that. Can't do a damn thing. Oh, Fung Wong kicked up the dirt on the run to 1. That helps McGrath on the inside. So Fung Wong undoes all the hard work and has to go out after McGrath once more. Oh dear. And all that meanwhile is helping John Merritt disappear. So it'll be a potential double coming up for Pulse Tuning here. Cedo winning race 1, Merritt in the box seat, but we are only at the halfway mark of race 2.
Yes, that gap out front has now exploded outside the 1 second mark. The draft is still effective at that distance, but not as effective as if it were under. So John Merritt most likely has this in the bag as they go down to the next couple of laps. I'm sure he will look to not make the same mistake into that corner as he did in the previous race. And of course, with all the fighting that McGrath, Wong and Bennett will do, that will only just help him maintain his lead, because I can't imagine these boys are actually going to help each other, considering I've seen the aggressive game of leapfrog between at least McGrath and Wong for the past couple of laps. So I would dare say that Merritt's got this one in the bag. But in terms of positions 2 and 3, that's still up for discussion, because Chuck Fung Wong wants to say something about it going around the outside.
He's going to put himself on the inside for the right-hander. If he can stay there, he can't. What a great bit of driving from Robert McGrath to get across and cover it off. Even used the grass on the exit to maintain the advantage there in second. Fung Wong is 3rd, Bennett is 4th. Noble and Baker are trying to latch on there as well. It's then 2 1/4 seconds back to Fred Khan and Adam Lavis. I think they're out of the fight. A great invert race here at the Snetterton 300 circuit. 6 minutes to go. Great run off the final corner from Chuk Fung Wong up the outside. Gets by. Robert McGrath goes to 2nd at the post. Have a look at the train latching on to come along for the ride here. Fung Wong up the outside to go to 2nd. Bennett's trying to fend off Noble. They're almost 4 wide on the run to 1. Noble around the outside. Trying to push Fung Wong along. McGrath still somehow holding on to second. And Noble's punched out the fastest lap of the race at 2:13.941. Now to 30 goes on the inside.
Man, this was a battle of 3. It turned into a battle of 5. Noble made his way through, and Tony Baker's there as well. Bennett drops all the way down to P6 now. Oh, no, I spoke too soon.
Oh, no,
Tony
there goes
Baker.
Baker. Gone. Out of a certain top 10 finish for Tony Baker. He's holding on. No, he's not anymore. Tate's got by. Tate goes to 10th. Baker with all the hard work to do again. He's got this and 2 laps to go to do it. Noble's the leader. As far as the chasing pack is concerned on Robert McGrath, Merritt has cleared out to 3.23 seconds on everybody. This is awesome. So is Daniel Snetterton getting up our comment numbers, our interaction and our engagement on social media as well, with expert commentary from the lounge tonight. Down the back straight, Noble to second. Noble to second. It's for a 9th place grid points or grid position for the 3rd and final one in just a few moments' time. If he can stay there, McGrath goes wide. He'd been pushing the limits with that corner all night long, often running onto the AstroTurf on the exit of the right-hander. That was just a bridge too far. He goes back to 4th, still fending off Bennett, Khan and Lavis. They're 6th and 7th. King, Tyson, Tate make up the top 10.
He did well because he just kept the foot in it, tried to keep as much momentum. He luckily had much more control on the grass, and so he managed to rejoin safely. As Adam Lavis, I thought he might have even tried to split him there, but no, instead just will take Bennett for P6 and looks to just fall behind Fred Khan for now. But yeah, I thought McGrath did well to hold on to it, but unfortunately the rolling resistance that the grass provides in these cars is too much, so he's now dropped way off the back of the front pack there. And I mean, John Merritt took a drop in the ocean and expanded it out 3 seconds now. So yeah, there's no chance for Noble to make up that time, unless of course John puts a foot wrong. And as far as Noble, he's probably got enough in him to hold on to that P2. Chuck from Wong's been really fast, and we've seen him attack into these corners quite aggressively, but I just don't think that he'll be close enough to make a lasting move with only, what's that, a lap and a half to go?
Yep. That's all there is left. Oh, Kevin Henderson's down the road. Kevin Henderson off the track, drops to 11th. Sean Rees back to 12th. Sam Chapman up 15 spots to 11th. Chapo, someone we haven't even mentioned tonight. Needs one more spot, but he's 4.15 back on, or 4.1 seconds rather, back on Ryan Tate. It's got worse for Tony Baker. He's dropped down to 18th behind his teammate Brendan Nealon. Jaden Green back up to 16th after dropping down earlier in the piece. Oh boy. There goes Adam Lavis. We're riding on board with him, chasing Fred Khan. The final few stages of race 2 of the night for Spreyton Cider Formula V. Still a 3-way fight for position number 2. Oh, Fred Khan's wide off the final corner. That doesn't do any favours for Adam Lavis. Not yet anyway. White flag in the air. Well, figuratively. Barney's taking the night off, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us. Good thing we're here to tell you when the white flag's out. Slow-moving car on the right side there, coming out of the pit lane. In fact, on that subject, have we had much in the way of attrition in this race? Yes, we got Nick Wood on the lane, has been for 12 minutes and 38 seconds. Robert McGrath bogs it down going through turn 2. Sean McQuillan, the hero of race 1, is down in pit lane, has been for about 8 minutes 15 now, and Brett Bradbury's been there for 4 minutes. Chris Stark's got back out, he's a lap down. Glenn Cito also a lap down, so too Phil Butler, Adam Proctor is on the lead lap still, and no, my apologies. Cito is still on the lead lap, but he's a long way from the checkered flag. He's a long way from the white flag. He's only about 0.05 of a lap up the road from this lot. So Cito's a very, very distant 24th at the moment, and Phil Butler 23rd, Adam Proctor lane, Thurburn 22nd, 21st. Top 20 have not transited the lane. So they're the beneficiaries of the misfortunes of those around them. At the moment, Ryan Tate in the invert position, trying to displace Adam Tice for 9th. We're rolling on board with Adam Lavis, looking back at Fred Kahn.
Oh, Starkey's screen froze. Well, that's not ideal.
And what was your excuse, Brett? Because he's in pit lane at the moment, correcting when he should be on the track. Oh no. All right, down the inside. Fred Kahn on a big look. A big launch trying to get by it. On the outside of it. Oh my.
I think Adam missed a gear.
Fred Kahn.
I think Adam might have missed a gear. He dropped back. Right. Yeah, I think he's dropped so far back in that second part of the chicane.
Oh boy, Fred Kahn up the outside to go to 5th. Lavis is still up 21 spots. Not the biggest mover of this race. That'll go to Chris Noble with 26 positions gained. But at the front, John Hot Lap Merritt is doing hot lap things. Goes to the checkered flag, gets his first win of the night. Chris Noble in for 2nd. Chook Bung Wong, Robert McGrath, Fred Kahn and Adam Lavis. Phil King in for 7th, and Colin Bennett, Ryan Tate and Adam Tice. That was superb. Brett Bradbury informs us it was a meatball. We'll see him back on the grid very shortly. It will still be a full field of 28 taking to the track for the race, for the 3rd race in just a few moments. Time, ladies and gentlemen, the 3rd and final one of the night, the 18th one of the season. That was awesome. Gotta love this fast-paced stuff on a Thursday night. Wash, rinse, repeat, I know, but it's rip in, get it done, and get out. Back to back to back, no breaks in between, barely a chance to catch your breath. Just the way we like it. No, it's been a while since I've been this fired up in the commentary box, so knowing that we were coming to Snetterton tonight, I smartly placed the Strepsils right next to the microphone tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Glenn Cedar-Adele, of course, winning race 1 from Chris Noble and Adam Lavis. So Chris Noble with a pair of second places, which from 28th on the grid is just bloody extraordinary. A pair of second places for Chris Noble. Well placed as far as round honours go for the night at the moment thus far.
And we had
in the end, we're just waiting for Glenn Cedar to come around and also Phil Butler. Once those two get across the line, we'll have the results from race 2 for you. But it was John Merritt from Chris Noble and Chook Fung Wong. That's got to be one of his best finishes in Spreyton side of Formula V. Robert McGrath, Fred Kahn, Adam Lavis, Phil King, Colin Bennett, Ryan Tate, and Adam Tice, the top 10. And Adam Tice will be the winner of the invert top 10 for this 3rd and final race, which, if the second one's anything to go by, should be equally as enjoyable, equally as chaotic and frantic as the first 2. Of course, this is Thursday Night Motorsport on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. We do go to Coda shortly, but before that, we cannot wait any longer to, well, there firstly the results from race 2. Merritt, Noble, Fung Wong, McGrath, Kahn, Lavis, King, Bennett, Tate and Tice. Rees, Chapman, Henderson, Schultz, Green, Baker, Hooper, Nealon, Murray and Heaney made up the top 20. 35 seconds covered the 20. 4.44 the winning margin. John Merritt in a class above, a cut above a league of his own. Now, we couldn't do any of what we do here on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club without the great support of the following. After you have a look at the updated championship standing. No, we'll come back to that. Waste Options, Spreyton Sidearc, Orbic Australia, Lobesy Racing, M-Wave Australia and Flash Graphics. Could not do any of this without the great support of those people, so make sure you support them where and when you can. And we'll go back and have a look at those championship standings now if we can. Please, Daniel Correa-Sarr, updated for you after that second race. 404 now for Cito, 22 points back to Sam Chapman and Adam Lavis. Tony Baker, 321, 302 for Henderson, 283 for Tate, 272 for King, 243 for Baldwin, not on the grid, 38 for Nealon, and Harris on 179 points, also not on the grid tonight. Oh boy, a lot to get through there. Going round the grounds, the Swans 4-1 lead the Bulldogs 3-2. However, this shot on goal is hooked to the left, so it's 3-3 now for the Western Bulldogs and a lead of 4 points to the Swans. The NRL tonight pits the Dogs against the Dragons, and so far after 8 minutes of play, it's 0-0. 0-0 between those two teams. That one, I believe, being played at the Olympic Stadium in Homebush. So if you haven't already got out there, just watch it on 9 or Fox Sports around Australia. Big night of sport. And we're doing our bit here to contribute to that on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Oh, boy. Catch your breath, ladies and gentlemen. How good were those first two races, Daniel?
Oh, excellent, excellent. We saw a little bit of more carnage in that first one, but then the start of the second was absolutely picture perfect. Yeah, we saw just John Merritt absolutely punch his way through the field, and some really good fights towards the front and the back. An unfortunate one there for Riddell, of course, with such a strong start in the first one, and then dropping back all the way. He wasn't considered a lap down, I think, because he crossed the line before John Merritt had finished the race.
That's right. That's right. So Tice, Tate, Bennett, King, Maverick Lavis, Adam, of course, Fred Kahn, Robert McGrath, Chook Fung Wong, Noble and Merritt make up the first 5 rows on this grid. Invert top 10, and everybody else is start where they finished. Rees, Chapman, Henderson, Schultz. Watch for Chapo from 12th. Green and Baker row 8. Hooper and Neal on row 9. Murray and Heaney row 10. We've got a full grid of 28 lining up for the final one of the night, the final one of round 6. Spreyton side of Formula V Thursday night motorsport on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Have a look at that for a start from Ryan Tate. Shot out of the blocks perfectly. Couldn't have got the start any better. He leads to turn 1. Laver's trying to force the issue on Tice around the outside. And does so. Gets by cleanly to second.
Well, that's Adam Proctor.
Everybody except Proctor. Everybody except Proctor.
Oh, no, spin down the back. That's Sean Reese and Kevin Henderson.
Spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. Always do. Oh, that's good stuff.
Oh my Lord.
Uh-oh. Chris Noble. Up and over and gone. The man that was on track for round honours tonight, out of business on lap 1. In spectacular fashion. Merritt carving his way through the field. Up to 6th already. Another spinner at the back. They're dropping all over the place at the Snetterton 300 circuit. Henderson and Noble on the tow rope. Have a look at this. Uh-oh. Bye-bye. Oh, dear. Once he landed on his lid, he knew that the only way back to the lane was via the tow rope. There was no coming back from there. 4-3-27 plays 4-1-25. Dogs lead Swans at quarter time at Marvel. Thursday night AFL. Lavis up the outside of Ryan Tate to go to the lead down the back straight. Lavis finds his way to the front. Tyson Merritt 3rd and 4th. King, Kahn, McGrath, Chapman, Bennett and Baker, the top 10. They're still swapping around all over the place. But at the moment, it's pretty good. Lavis, Tate, Merritt, Tyson, King, the top 5.
So where it's really challenging, of course, here at Snetterton is the front straight is so long that holding on to P1 is quite difficult because, of course, the car behind you is going to get all of that draft. So Adam's got to have to think about that. Obviously, this early into the race, it's not really a big issue. As long as you can hold on to the cars around you, you should be fine. It's when you start getting into those later laps is where you've really got to make a call for it. So Lavis did a really good job to keep that position going into the chicane, but then he ended up running slightly wide, which gave Ryan a bit more exit speed than Adam. Having said that, though, after they resolve at the front of the grid, Adam is still leading, and it looks like John Merritt had a hard break. Oh, no, he's round.
Gone. Had company. Sam Chapman caught up in that. So too A couple of others. I think the order's going all over the place here. Let's have a look at this. John Merritt, middle of the road.
Oh, no. Yeah, wow.
It's closing in on both Lavis and Tate, and all of a sudden, have a look at them. Like a chain reaction.
That was Sam Chapman there in the Per Mobile car.
Where's John Farnham when you need him? And Merritt's going nowhere but the lane. That's crabbing like you wouldn't believe. Straight into the wall. Merritt's out of business. Aidan Schultz is out of business. Chuk Fung Wong and Chris Noble are out of business. It's been a long casualty list. And we're only on lap 2. They've saved the best carnage until last. Robert McGrath now on the tow rope as well. Colin Bennett back out there. I think. No, he's retired as well. So too is Kevin Henderson. 7 cars. A quarter of the field already in trouble on the opening laps. Oh boy. Tate and Lavis side by side. Look at the commitment from Ryan Tate. Gets through it, Adam Lavis. Goes to the lead once more. Fantastic stuff. Tate, Lavis, Tice, King, Baker, Hooper, Stark, McQuillan, then Proctor and Wood the top 10. This is fantastic. Tate the 000 leads the field back to the strike. 2 down, 5 to go. And this top 10 is so lopsided, you wouldn't believe it. Tate, Lavis, King, sure. Tice even, sure. I expect that, but look at the numbers further down. Plus 11 for both Baker and Hooper. Plus 21 for Nick Wood. 14 for Proctor. 16 for Stark. 17 for McQuillan. 15 for Bradbury. Round goes Adam Tice.
Wow. Phil King managed to avoid that. I don't know how. Adam Tice tied to...
Oh, jeez. How the hell are they doing this? Very well behaved from all and sundry. Get it out of there, Ticey. That's the way, son. Well done.
Yeah, Tice tried to go a little too aggressive on the inside, get that lunge, late brake maneuver, but unfortunately in these cars, the weight transfer is very, very significant. You have to be very careful when you do that, because once those rear tires lose contact patch with the road, it is so easy to spin, as we just demonstrated. So that's an unfortunate one for him. And then, of course, being stuck on the inside of the corner means you can't really go anywhere. So everybody had to go around. He had to wait. And that means he rejoins down in 17th position. Very significant fall there for Adam Tice. But, wow, at the front here, though, nothing has been missed. Adam Lavis and Ryan Tate still aggressively fighting each other with a 2.8 second gap to Phil King. So it really could be a bubble for the next 10 or so minutes left in this race for these two, as it looks like Adam Proctor managed to make a position apart. Oh, sorry, it's side by side actually for these two. Oh, and it looks like Nick Wood's got the short end of the stick there. He drops down 2, and McQuillan picks up 2. So a good move there from the 424 entry.
Nick Wood, 9th place on the comeback trail here. So double-digit gains for 4th through 10th at the moment. We're riding with Nick Wood back onto the main straight. What about Steve McQuillan up 21 spots? Sorry, Sean McQuillan up 21 spots into 6th place. From 27th on the grid, Nick Wood down the inside to go to 8th on Chris Stark. Starkey's not going to make it easy for him. Might have to yield eventually. Wood gets through on the inside to 8th. Or can they go 3 wide and the V's down to turn 2? No. 2 will do. Oh, geez. Hold your breath. Look at the ripple strip being used there on the exit. Proctor keeping Wood at bay. Stark's back behind all of this. McQuillan under serious pressure. McQuillan 6th. Proctor now 7th. Wood is 8th. Oh, Wood's actually wedged his way down the inside of Proctor and up the outside of McQuillan. Oh,
The
Going to
teammates!
teammate! Synchronized ballet! Synchronized spinning from Chris Stark and Adam Proctor. Monkey see, monkey do. Would you fair dinkum believe it?
Oh, no way.
No contact at all.
Yeah.
Just a sympathy spin from Chris Stark on Adam Proctor's behalf. Wow. The two teammates out of contention. Proctor back to 12th, Stark back to 15th. And it's opening up beautifully for the top four to just take off into the sunset. Lavis still holding Ryan Tate at bay. Either way, we've got a third different race winner for the night coming our way. And same can be said if it's Baker or Phil King should something happen to these two. Same for Hooper and McQuillan. The two race winners, Cito and Merritt, where are they at the moment? Well, they're both on pit road. Cito's been there for 2 3/4 minutes. Merritt's been there for 6. Adam Tice now off the road again and now onto the tow rope as well. 9 cars on the tow rope. Hendo's parked up and shot through. So too have Schultze, McGrath, Bennett and Fung Wong. Actually, no, I stand corrected. Chook's actually got back out onto the racetrack. He hasn't rage quit at all. He was only in pit lane for 3.5 minutes. Adam Tice is now parked up and joined the retirement list. Fred Kahn and Sam Chapman trying to fight their way back from early unscheduled pit stops. Lavis and Tate is the focus of central commentary at the moment as we watch those guys go through on lap 5. 2 to go next time by the line. And it's all to play for. Great stuff. Baker, the fastest man on the track as well, just quietly, Daniel Correa, 2:14.876.
Yeah, set that last time by. I was just going to comment on how consistent this front battle has been. These guys have been forcing it quite hard. I like it. Adam Lavis, actually, as they went through, I'm curious to see if he'll do the same thing again. This time by, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. He going through the chicane area, and I just noticed that for whatever reason, the track map is not showing itself on that top as it usually is. So I'll have to assess as to why that's the case. But as we come down here towards the bridge, last lap, Adam Lavis had this car on 2 wheels because he used a lot of the inside curve. I'm curious to see if he'll do the same again. Here we go. No, this time he keeps his distance. He's also got a very significant lead. Tate's actually dropped back a bit. I'm not sure exactly why. I mean, he's still there in the red, 4/10.
Yep.
But usually he's right
is
there.
nothing around here.
Yeah, no, and it's not exactly.
However, it is a big margin in Formula V. Main straight again. The run down to the line. It's 2 laps at the line for Adam Lavis. Can he get himself a race win? Or will Ryan Tate be the sting in the tail? To the inside at 1. Tate goes to the lead. Phil King with the fastest lap of the race, 2:14.454. To match Tony Baker's 2:14.553. 5:72 for Tate, 7:30 for Lavis. But Lavis wants to lead it at 2. And does so. And Tate allows him to. We've got plenty of great racing still to come tonight on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Super Formula Light from Kota, no less. And I believe it's the full circuit there. Invert racing as well. Sprint racing on the agenda. Cannot wait for that. Hope you can join us. Hope you can stick around for it. It's all starting at 8:45 Eastern Standard Time. So there won't be much in the terms of turnaround time from this to that. Final stages here. Ryan Tate all over the back of Adam Lavis like a cheap suit.
Ryan's a lot closer this time by. I'm not sure if he'll choose to take the over. Never mind. He has. Here we go.
Up the outside again. Well, it's the inside technically for the end of the back straight, but it very quickly becomes the outside. Oh, beautifully done. Got it done before the corner, covered it off. Tate leads with 11.5 to go. Bubble up on the dirt on the exit. Kept it pointing in the right direction. Kept it straight somehow.
So this should be white flag, correct?
It should be. A minute and a half to go. So a little bit of overtime coming up for these guys, but well worth it. If you've been tuning in and enjoying it thus far, drop in, because for the first time tonight we've got a last lap thriller for the win. It's Tate, it's Lavis across the line. A lap to go. A minute and a half on the clock. Tate will hold on the inside on the run to one, and Lavis will let him to do so. Baker still holding off King in the battle for third. Hooper, Thoburn, Green, Proctor, Murray, and McQuill in the top 10. Thoburn's got his eyes full. He's got and his windows mirrors full. He's got Jaden Green, Adam Proctor, and Steve Murray all over him, applying the pressure. But right now, Lavis is sitting pretty. Right there with Ryan Tate, trying to lure him into the trap. I'm not determined. I'm not willing to overtake you. I want you to lead it to the line, and I want me to get the slipstream and draft onto the main straight and get you in a side-by-side fight. Kurt Novenson saying that he's got work in the morning, so he won't be on the grid tonight. Which is unfortunate, but what a great turnout for Formula V. About time we had a decent-sized field for Formula V. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a long while since we've had 28. White flag waving for those that are still to complete the penultimate lap. These guys are racing to the checkered flag. It's Tate, it's Lavis, it's Baker, it's King.
So here's where it's going to be interesting. So
Lavis inside. Lavis wants to go now, Daniel. Lavis wants to go now. Tate trying to squeeze him but can't. Lavis to the lead at the end of the back straight. Whoa! Pull it up, boys. Well done.
Okay, I think this will work out. I think this will work out for Lavis. It's a decent gap there. The run to the line is lengthy, but generally it's only down closer towards turn one where they can make the move. So we'll see. Adam Lavis leading for now. Ryan Tate will try and shorten this next corner as much as possible to see if he can keep the speed. But if Adam can just keep it nice and tight, it looks good. We'll see.
Lavis weaving left to right and then hugging the pit wall. Down the main straight to the checkered flag. Tate pulls out. Photo. Lavis. Adam Lavis gets one at long last. Finally, our teammate here in Central Commentary nabs himself a race win. And well overdue. Tate in for second. Tony Baker, after a mongrel of a night, gets himself to third. You might have seen the comment from Pulse Tuning. That's definitely a good drop round night.
Oh, Brendan Nealon.
From much in this table. Whoa, Nealon, wow. Nealon in the thick of it with Chapman and also Starkey. He had Stark to the left and Chapman to the right, or vice versa. And Nealon was stuck in the middle of locked up. Starkey picked him by 200ths of a second. Lavis with the win. Tate for second. Baker third. King fourth. Hooper, Green, Wood, McQuillan. Then Murray and Proctor, the top 10. Proctor fought back into the 10. Heaney, Thoburn and Stark. Nealon and Chapman made up the 15. Shocker of a night for Chapo, let's be perfectly honest. We'll be happy to see the back of Snetterton. 13 positions gained for Baker, 12 for Hooper, 21 for Nick Wood, 19 for McQuillan, 10 for Murray, 12 for Proctor, 12 for Stark, and 10 for Brett Bradbury. The biggest movers of the night. The rate of attrition, extraordinary. Those that ended up retiring included Chuk Fung Wong. Chuk Fung Wong was a lap down. He did get to the finish. It was everybody else. So Sean Reeves was on the tow rope at the very end. Adam Tice at the end of the race was a retirement. So took on Cito, Colin Bennett, Robert McGrath, John Merritt, Aidan Schultz, Chris Noble, and Kevin Henderson. Oh boy, how about that? Spreyton side of Thursday Night Motorsport. Formula V delivers again. Delivers a classic. Terrific stuff. So Lavis, Tate, Baker, King and Hooper, the top 5 there. And in a photo for 13th, Chris Stark joins me in central commentary. Hello, mate.
Hey, Zinni.
How's the heart rate after that one, please?
Yeah, I reckon I would have done better. I made a couple of my own mistakes when especially when I was behind John Merritt. I spun, and then Adam spun in front of me in that last race, and I had nowhere to go. So I just sort of brake, but then spun the car and just had to wait for the field to go by. It was good fun. I know that race control issued a penalty to someone when they braked really hard. I think it was Tony Baker, braked really hard on the straight, and I sort of had nowhere to go. I went straight at the back of him at the end of the race. But I'll sort that out. Send the telemetry and we'll know what happened for sure. That was fun. It was busy, but fun.
It looked like it. It absolutely looked like it. Hey, well done. What about races 1 and 2? What were your thoughts on them?
They were good. They were good fun. It was good racing. Most of it was clean. I don't think there was too much going on. It's one of those I think someone forgot to put it in first off the start of the first one.
Yes.
It's one of those tracks that you have to practice because although it's flowing, there's a couple of corners that are quite slow. There's two right-handers that are quite slow, and if you don't get them right, you have to take them in second, not third, and I think that caught a few people out. I know the last race I was trying to give Sam the spot because max points for the championship, but as we came down to the last corner, he missed a gear, so that created a bit of chaos for us.
Indeed it did. In saying all that, your thoughts on this as a racetrack? I mean, from a spectacle standpoint, it delivered an absolute beauty, but there'll be a few drivers no doubt happy to see the back of it.
It's a draft track. It's a long draft track, and it's really hard on the brakes. You have to, be prepared, especially when you're in a train. If you've been practicing, you can't brake as late as you were during practice, otherwise you see what you got, people just piling in.
Indeed. And as we have a look at the calendar for what's ahead, my friend, I mean, next week we go to Virginia, we go to the North Course there, then on to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, always a favourite, then on to Sebring, and then week 10 is still yet to be confirmed. Virginia's next, always good for these cars.
Yeah, VIR is good. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is not so good for these cars. Like Sebring, it's very bumpy. Yep. These particular vehicles, especially when you turn and accelerate at the same time or braking, are very susceptible to spinning when it's bumpy. I think you even saw John Merritt make some mistakes tonight with bumps, and he spun on his own.
Actually,
yeah, exactly. That speaks volumes when Merritt gets caught out, Dan.
Yeah, just to cut in. So, no, it doesn't look like Sam has finalised the last one. It seems it's Magellan.
Yeah, hey, there we go.
Magellan won't be bad in these cars. There's not so many big curves, and it's just that downhill through the left sweeper, then the right sweeper back up the hill. I think if you lose momentum in the first part of that downhill, you're going to be in trouble.
Sam Chapman's joined us in the commentary box. So too has Sam Stride. We'll get to those two gentlemen in just a moment. Although, actually, Sam, if anything else, might be able to explain why he was in the server but not on the grid. So we'll get to him in just a tick. Starkey, what's next for you, please?
I don't think I'll do wins and sleeps. I might. I'm on night shift tomorrow, so I want to stay up as late as I can. I've got 3 night shifts, so we'll see what happens. A little bit tired at the moment. I had a screen freeze. I don't know if you saw me go off the track a couple of times. I had 2 screen freezes.
Yes, what was going on there, please?
I don't know. I've got a new computer. It shouldn't have done it, so I've got to look at what's happened there. And it's high end, so unless there was something updating, it just froze me, and I think I took out Brett Babry in one of those screen freezes, so my absolute apologies to him. It just froze. Like I couldn't see where I was going, and I didn't know where I was.
The old tech issues being the mechanical issues of the sim world once more.
Bloody hell. And Sam Stride was race control, so well done to Sam with that bigger field. Bloody hell, it was a big field.
There's
Sam, good evening to you. Yeah. You might be able to elaborate on how well behaved everybody was, or how badly behaved everybody was. How many penalties did you have to issue?
Early on, the guys were behaving themselves really well. It was some pretty good racing to watch. It was just later on the night, I think guys might have got a little bit grumpy, a bit impatient. Race 3 was interesting. It was the misfortunes of the classic rear end of the Formula V, but some of the driving was a bit absent-minded, maybe a bit careless, but that's all right. That's racing, and everyone's here to learn. And you know, maybe a little bit of a poke being the penalty might, settle people down a little bit.
Yeah, maybe so. However, in saying that, I think there's two things that I'll go into bat for these guys, and I'll say that these are the two things that I'm going to attribute to what we saw out there. As Starkey said, it's a draft circuit, and so that's number one. You're going to see plenty of close competitive racing. Throw in the fact that we've got a full invert as well, and then throw in the third ingredient that after race one and maybe race two not going to plan for these guys, frustration probably crept in more than anything else.
Yeah, when you've got the full invert, you're exactly right. Sometimes you have a bit of a misfortune come through the field, and then you're on a mission in race three, and also the invert top 10 in race three. That can sometimes throw in someone who might have clung onto a top 10, and all of a sudden they're back up the front again, and it can cause some dramas for some of the quicker guys who are trying to aggressively push through the field. But generally speaking, the Formula V guys, they race three wide, nice and clean, and it's some good racing to watch.
All right, very nicely done. Thank you to you, Sam. Thank you to you, Starkey, as well. Good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thanks, Zach. Have a great night.
Especially with the 3 night shifts ahead, mate. Jeez, I don't envy you.
Sam, you want to drop in your race control, Sam?
Roger that, mate.
Sam, yep, I was going to say, it's not Chapo. We want to have a chat to Chapo before he goes anywhere else. Good evening to you. That's best forgotten, that round of the championship, I would imagine, for a championship contender like yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's that was pretty hard work out there tonight, I must say. It wasn't helped by I didn't actually get a lap of the track until qualifying, so I'd never actually done a lap in one of these around here until then, because I was stuck at work. So yeah, so it was a bit of learning that first race, but that was relatively smooth because you sort of have the guys that I'm normally around up front, and then that second race was just starting down to 26th was chaotic, trying to dodge everything, and just got a massive amount of damage for straight line speed. So I was trying to get back up to that invert but couldn't, and then third race, once again it was there's a car spun on that hairpin, and they wanted to go 3 wide. I went, nah, we'll do 2 wide, but there wasn't really too much care going into it, and sort of swiped across. So yeah, pretty tough night, but I don't think I was alone in it being a tough night. I think actually, if anyone should be happy, I think it's Adam Lavis now. I think he will be on top of things.
He should absolutely be happy with how that night played out. We'll hopefully have a chat with him shortly as well. Shocker of a night for you, shocker of a night for the Pulse Tuning boys. But, I mean, in saying that, we weren't disappointed with what we saw here in Central Commentary. You guys dished up 3 very good, very entertaining races.
Oh, I'm glad it was nice from your perspective. I'm sure it was, because I was under the pump the entire time. I'm sure everyone else was too. So I'm sure it had some great battles, and there was some serious stuff going on along with all the drama as well. So I think I reckon it's a good track. It's also the part of it as well. The chaos came from the field size. It's probably one of the bigger fields we've had all season, which shocks me for Snetterton. I didn't see it being an overly popular circuit, but with we had almost 30 cars on the grid, so you invert 30 cars, it's quite the opportunity for mayhem.
And well done to the likes of Chris Noble. I mean, first 2 races at the front, race 1 from the back to the front, 2 seconds to his name. Unfortunately, just not third time lucky. He ended up on his lid.
Yeah, it's well, we know how good Chris Noble is in these cars, and generally how good he is at keeping it clean. So it's not entirely surprising. Really good to see Chris back out as well. He's been in here for a little while, but he's been back in the last couple of weeks. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to have a good battle with him at some point. But we sort of seem to have been separated by X, Y, Z. Because I just remember the end of last year, we just had some absolute belters. Him and I. So, but yeah. So, and you know, you see people like John Merritt making mistakes around here too. So it shows a bit of a tricky circuit. He's a peddler in the V's. Yeah. It was still good fun. But yeah, hard yakka.
And his teammate Lane Thurburn was back out there as well, Chris Noble. So good to see the dynamic duo back. So we reset on this one. We forget this. Cito, Chapman, Lavis fighting it out. 4 rounds to go. What are your thoughts on Virginia?
So because it's a shorter course as well. It's not the full Virginia. So there'll be probably a little bit more of a technical aspect than. I mean, Virginia's always technical, but I guess when you've got that long back straight, realistically, that's the deciding factor of the race as to where you're going to. End up on circuit, and also the front straight too, more so than the corners, whereas this will probably be a bit different in that respect. You know, you got good runoff there and that sort of thing, so you know, hopefully you can avoid a little bit of mayhem in the reverse, but you know, you've also got that here to a large degree. So yeah, I like Virginia, so we'll see how that goes.
Indeed we will, and looking forward to it immensely. Are you jumping in for wings and slicks, and what are your thoughts?
No, I was going to, but there's mayhem at work at the moment, so I probably should be working. But I told them no, between 7 and 8:30, I've actually got something very important on. I can't miss. But I better jump back on now.
We'll let you do that, mate. Well done, thank you again, and looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. See ya.
What about that from Chapo? Just palming work off just for the sake of business here on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Leisure's important too, folks, but it's business as usual for these guys with 4 weeks left in the championship fight. Right, quick break, and back on the other side. We'll cut back in about 3 minutes before race start, ladies and gentlemen. Bringing you the 6th round of the Wings and Slicks, the Super Formula Lights. We are taking you from Snetterton over to Kota. It's a Circuit of the Americas. We're going sprint racing tonight. Yep, it's a 5-race program. It's open wheel Thursday on the platform of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. And on the way to the break, the Swans have the lead at Marvel. 6-4-40 playing 5-7-37 against the Western Bulldogs. That one, of course, heading towards the halftime break. Meanwhile, the Dragons, with a minute and a half to go in the first half, lead the Bulldogs 12-6 in Thursday night NRL as well. Here, we've had 3 different winners, Cito, Merritt and Lavis. And what a tale of the tape it was for those two tonight. Pretty good night out for Adam Lavis. Docker of a night in the end for John Merritt and also Glenn Cito Riddell. But that's Snetterton for you. Plenty of challenges attached to the last hour or so of programming. For some of these drivers, some of our regular contenders caught up in carnage. That's why we love Formula V. It just throws the unexpected at you every single week. A break and back with Super Formula Light from Kota on the other side.